Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary Stroop Family Foundation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, and the Kern High School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
We are live today at Frontier High School visiting the Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, and I am live today with branch manager Lucinda Espinoza.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started with Kern Schools?
Okay, well, I started in Kern Schools back in 2006. I started as a teller, and then from there, I just kind of moved up, and then I got an interest in the high school branches, and then from there, you know, I would help out with the high schools and cover for the other managers when they were out for the day, and then eventually, you know, I got my branch.
Now, can you tell us how long has the branch been here at Frontier High School?
The Frontier High School branch was open in 2014, so I believe this is our 6th year we're going on.
And you've been here with the branch since 2014?
Correct. Yes, I opened the branch back in 2014, so and I've been here since, and I love it.
Can you give us a little bit of history, why you're located on the campus? You're not only located here on this campus, aren't you also located throughout other high schools?
Correct. We have 5 total branches. So we have West High, we have Ridgeview, we have Stockdale, ROC, and then Frontier is our 5th branch.
How did that get all started to be on the high school campuses?
Well, Kern Schools originally started at BHS. A bunch of teachers got together, put money in a shoebox, and then it's grown ever since. So we stay incorporated with the high schools because that's where we started.
Okay, tell us a little bit something about what you guys do. What does your daily routine look like?
So our daily routine is our students that we have in our branch are our tellers. So the bell rings when it's time to come to class. We open up the doors. Students come in. They grab their cash. They get signed on to their PCs, and then they're ready to help members once they're up and running. And we get students, we get teachers, we get parents even. So they're always readily available to help members whenever they need it.
So let's back up to the students because the students are working inside, correct?
Correct.
So how do they come about? I mean, are there interviews? Is it through ROC? How do they come about being an employee?
Okay, on the Frontier campus, how we do it is we treat it like a job. We go out and we market, you know, to our students. You know, we have announcements, we have classroom presentations, and then they pass out applications. The students turn in the applications, and then from there we schedule interviews. So it'll be an interview with me, the branch manager, and then another individual in the credit union. And we know it's their first time maybe interviewing, so we understand if they're nervous, but we feel it's a great way for them to get started on their careers.
So they're actually do they need to be a certain age, juniors or seniors?
Yeah, to work in the branches, you have to be an incoming junior or a senior. So we market to our sophomores during the springtime, and as well as our juniors to staff our branches next year.
Okay, can we quickly see the inside?
Definitely, yes. Go on in.
So it's like a full-on little bank.
Correct. We have our teller windows, our PCs. You know, the students come in and then they sign on, and the windows have the signature pads. We have receipts. So it's like a mini little credit union on campus, which is really neat.
We are back at Frontier High School, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, and I am with Gia Keelan. And how long have you been there?
With the credit union?
Yes.
I've been with the credit union this year, or this month will be 28 years.
Wow, so did you open up the branch at Ridgeview?
No, I didn't. but I was with the credit union at the time.
And what year did that branch open?
It's been open for a little over 15 plus years, right around 2004.
And how did you get involved with Kern Schools Federal Credit Union?
I was a wee toddler. No, I'm kidding. I just decided I wanted to work for a local credit union and applied and got hired. And I've been there ever since.
Did you start as a teller
Yes,
first?
a part-time teller.
And then obviously moved
I
up
moved
the
up.
ranks?
Yep, I did.
And so obviously has to be a lot of mathematics involved with banking, correct?
Yes.
Can you give us example of how math is involved?
For example, like with my students, we teach our students to have cash bundles in their drawer. And so like an example would be our bundles for 20s would be 25 20s. 25 20s would equal $500. Another example is our 10s. We do 20 10s, and that equals $200.
So when they have to do these bundles, do they have to count it out? Obviously,
Yes, well, they buy it from our vault that way, and so they keep them in our drawers. They're cash cans that way, and so they know exactly, the amount that they need to have, and so they have to know how many are in a bundle, and so they have to use their multiplication.
do they have to, when they're taking it out of the vault, do they have to physically count it themselves to make sure that, yes, there
Yes.
is this, so that they're balancing and everything?
Absolutely, yes.
Do they have to sign it? Because I remember there used to be straps
Right. Mm-hmm.
around the bundles. Do you still have the straps around bundles?
These are smaller than straps, so they don't have the big straps in their drawer, because we don't have that much cash on campus. But yes, they do have to count it. They have a cash form that they have to sign for buying the cash.
Okay, I'll continue,
Okay,
sorry.
so these are like, for example, what they would buy from the vault. So total, it would be $700. So they would have to use their multiplication skills to get the amount in order to buy from the vault the exact amount that they want.
Okay, so they have this obviously in their drawer, and at the end of the day, can you kind of go into a little bit about the balancing of their cash box before they have to turn it in?
So each night or at the end of the class period, they have to count each bill in their drawer. We put it on our system and it does add it for them, but they do have to count it. So they are, counting their 5s, 5, 10, 15, until they get everything that's in their drawer, and then they put it into the computer, and then it gives them a total. And so the computer tracks what they should have, they enter what they actually have, and it should balance.
And how long, do they work the whole day, or is there like a short amount of time that they report?
They're in a class period, so usually they're about 55 minutes long. And for like example, at my branch, I have 4 class periods with 4 students in each class.
And how long would you say it takes for them to check out the money and then also to close?
To check out the money from the vault,
Yes.
just a few minutes. They just say, "Hey, Gia, I need some cash out of my vault or out of your vault," and so I go and get exactly what they need. They need to tell me the amount that they need, and so I go get it for them, give it to them, and they count it.
For students on campuses with the Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, and again, they have to be juniors, correct? Incoming juniors.
Yes.
What math skills would you recommend for them to have if they're wanting to get into this business?
Just, simple math. Just addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. That's usually all that, really requires to start off in the teller position.
Great. Well, thank you so much for visiting us with today and showing us what mathematics is involved. We are back at Frontier High School, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, and I have another guest with me, Kiana Nelson, and you are branch manager, again, not of Frontier. Can you tell everyone where you're located at?
Yes, I'm the branch manager at Stockdale High School.
And how long have you been there?
At Stockdale High School, I've been there since 2010, but I have been with the credit union since 2002.
And did you start like the other ladies as a teller?
I did. I actually started when I was a high school student, so I worked on the Stockdale campus as a student, and when I graduated, I became a part-time teller.
And then again, what year, one more time, that you started with Stockdale?
With Stockdale, I started in 2010 as a high school manager.
So there's a lot for students to get involved. You being a student yourself, can you kind of go through that training process with us?
Yes, the current students for the year, they go out to the classrooms and they do presentations, letting the staff or letting the students know on campus that there are positions open. So they go, they apply, they submit a resume, and then we do an interview. And from that interview, we select students depending on how many we need for the school year.
Now, the interview process, do students kind of go through like practices, or is there somewhere where they practice these interview skills prior?
Prior to the interview, there is not. They have to kind of do the research on their own, and that's what we look for. It's students who take the initiative to find out what they should wear to an interview, how they should speak and prepare for it. Once they are selected into the program, then we do go over those skills so they know exactly what they need to do when they go out into the real world, or per se, you know.
So once they get hired on, and it's a class, correct?
Correct.
And are you the same? Is it like a 55-minute class for you?
Correct, yes. At Stockdale and the other 4 campuses that we have, they are on campus and work in the branch for 1 class period of the day. We do have a ROC program where they go for about 2 to 3 hours per day, and they can do an AM shift or a evening shift. So they're a little different on Stockdale campus by just 1 period a day.
So if they get hired on, what is the training process? Do they start automatically behind as a teller, or is there some kind of training process they need to go through first before they're on their own?
They'll definitely go through another training process. They shadow with our tellers that are actually hired on into the branch, just so they are comfortable. We don't ever want to throw them out there and they're not sure exactly what to do. So when they are comfortable, they will be on their own, but they do like job shadowing once they are hired on to as a part-time or a full-time teller.
About approximately how long before they are comfortable enough that you know that they can do this on their own?
When they're students and they come from our program, they usually get job shadowing about a week or 2 weeks. And then they are on their own and they use the cash cans. And of course, we always have supervisors or other senior tellers who are there to help them if they need it. But when they come from our program, we try to get them as prepared so they can go start right on the windows when they are hired.
Is there a limit for students that you take in the class?
In the classes, we do. We are smaller. We don't have large branches like the ones around town, so we are smaller. We usually take around 10 to 15 students, and we divide them up between the class periods.
Can you go a little bit more in depth about the ROC program, because you said it's a little bit different?
Yes, we have ROC program. The students, they actually come from all the school sites around town. We're not able to be on all of the high school campuses like here at Frontier, at Stockdale, or Ridgeview. But with the ROC, any student in the Kern High School District can go to the ROC and work in one of our in our branch there. So they actually apply for that branch, and then they go in the morning from 7 to about noon, and then noon till 3, and they work in the ROC branch. So they still do the same thing that we do here on campus. They're just there at a longer time frame.
To wrap it all up, what is the overall goal? Why Kern Schools Federal Credit Union started this program? What is the overall goal?
The overall goal is to have students prepared for when they graduate, to have work experience. I mean, I don't think that there's any other program in town that allow students to work on a live system, handle cash, and be prepared when they go out into the real world. So our overall goal is to get them prepared. Yes, we want them to stay with us and work with the Kern schools, but if they can't and they leave, to go off to college, then they're ready to work at other financial institutions where they go to school. So our goal is just to get them prepared and be ready for the work world when they graduate.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you letting us visit today. All 3 of you ladies have been amazing. And again, a little token of our appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you for having us on here. Thanks.